If you want to stay updated, make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell to get the videos as soon as they upload. YouTube, what up? Welcome back to another Pounds 978 custom video, and today I want to talk to you guys about Arachknight. Moon Knight and Spider-Man merged into one. Pretty cool. Long overdue. I've been wanting to make this guy for a long time. A lot of people have asked me in the past to make a Arachknight. It's pretty bright, and so hence the reason why I'm using a blue background. But you see, if I turn the front light on, it gets pretty bright. So white on white doesn't look good, but the blue kind of makes the white pop out in front. But anyway, if you want to make yourself one of these, all you need is a Taskmaster from the Black Widow wave, a Moon Knight cape and hood, and a Spider-Man head, along with some Sunfire legs, lower legs, to save yourself from a paint job if you really want to take a quick shortcut. The head is a Spider-Man UK head cast. This was casted in white, so I just painted the red and then the black. I left the eyes the white of the same color the cast was, so it's not white paint in the eyes, it's just the cast. Then I sculpted the logo, which is probably the most difficult part, or the most time-consuming part, was sculpting the logo and probably sanding the figure. That was a lot of time. But the head doesn't come out from the hood, it's glued in. I had to sand the head so it could fit the hood properly, and then glued it in there. But Arachknight is from this thing called the Warp Worlds. He's still from 616. It is Peter Parker, but it's from a time when I think Gamora took the Soul Stone, and I guess what happened was, in this world, it was usually two beings that clashed into one. So in this case, it was Moon Knight and Spider-Man, and together they made Arachknight. It gets even more strange. Apparently, Peter Parker has 4 different personalities. I mean, if you know anything about Mark Spector, which I believe is Moon Knight, I think that's his name, I could be wrong. But if you know anything about Moon Knight, you know he's a little crazy, he's a little off. And I think that's what they try to do with Peter Parker here. So he's 4 personalities. One quick noticeable difference I wanted to point out is the logo itself. It has gray on the comic book around the legs where mine's is red. There's a reason. Both images that I was working off, I believe anyway, had red on it. And so I was kind of confused after painting it and then looking at the cover of the comic that I had. I was like, oh, it's pretty gray on the cover, but inside some of the panels it was red. And I need to make that head, by the way. But yeah, I was pretty baffled. So that's one difference. Let me know in the comment section if Arachknight is something you're interested in, so we could all let Hasbro know. Please give us an Arachknight. I think in time they'll give us one. It depends on the popularity of the character. I don't think he's that popular like that, but I think in time we'll probably get one. But again, let me know in the comment section. Peter Parker as Arachknight, one of the coolest designs I've seen for Spider-Man in a long time, only because it borrows a lot from Moon Knight, and Moon Knight looks pretty cool as it is. Moon Knight is like a Batman, more or less, of the Marvel universe, just not as stable because Moon Knight has some mental issues. And I guess Peter Parker carries those same mental issues in this Warp Worlds 616. And so I like it. White pants, I could have thrown some gray in there, but again, depending on what panel and page you're looking at, the pants vary. The suit and design varies from time to time. Even the hood may have 2 sharp points. It may have 1. Again, the logo may be rounded, it may be squared off, it may have gray in it, it may have red in it. It varies from time to time. I don't think Moon Knight has a secure design yet. Side profile view, the reason why I chose Taskmaster is because I felt like his body proportionate was right. He had on what looked like gauntlets on his wrists and shoulder pads, and I felt like that was necessary for Arachknight. Arachknight has shoulder pads and gauntlets around his wrist, and I thought it was perfect. And I mean, I know it could be done better, but for what it is, I think it's pretty cool. Before I forget, the belt comes from Deadpool. I think it was from an X-Force Deadpool, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I think it's an X-Force Deadpool. Moon Knight's cape has a little bit of shading on it, as well as his hood. It's like a grayish shade that goes over the cape, but I decided to take it off. I just took some acetone, some nail polish remover, and some Q-tips, and wiped off all the gray and brought it back to that nice white cape. And then thought, if I was gonna shade it, I'll just do it myself. I don't want what was pre-shaded on it. I decided not to shade it. I left it all white. I think it looks cooler that way because it goes with the rest of the figure. So let me know what you guys think. Should I have added my own shading to it? Should I have left Hasbro shading? I wish this cape would have had shoulder covers where it would have covered the shoulder pads, so that way it wouldn't be so exposed that way. Or maybe even a cloth cape where you can have bendy wire in it and pose it any way you want. But as far as articulation goes, let's pop this head off and remove the cape so we can get a little more accuracy with the articulation, or free range of motion, more or less. The shoulder pads, they don't get in the way as much as I thought they were going to. So you don't have any paint rub on the shoulder pads. That's a pretty good thing. You do get butterfly joints on this body. It's hard to really notice, but they are there. You get a bicep swivel, goes all the way around. You get double jointed elbows. You're gonna have to push the top one up, but they do work and they function pretty well. You get a wrist hinge and a swivel. Then you get the ab crunch that goes all the way up and all the way down. It functions really nice. Waist swivel, of course, pretty standard with all Marvel Legends. Then you get the thigh splits. Splits about that much. Not great, especially for Spider-Man, but remember this was Taskmaster before. You get a thigh swivel, of course. Then you get double jointed knees, and you get a boot swivel, an ankle pivot, and an ankle hinge. All the standard stuff you get with most Marvel Legends. Here's a quick modification if you want to make it a Clone Hunter Spider-Man, but it's not about him. If you guys have this Peter Parker from the new Vintage Wave or animated series wave, you can take the alternate head that it came with and the extra Moon Knight head, take the hood from that and attach it to this Peter Parker head, and maybe add a little sculpt, of course, so you can mimic the head that's in the comic book with the mask being ripped at the eye. I think that'd be pretty cool. I almost want to do this, honestly, but who knows? Maybe I'll figure it out with another head, because I'm not going to waste that head just yet. Let me know if you want to see a review of the Clone Hunter. Some quick work in progress. You see the Taskmaster body. I sanded down a lot from the torso so I can add some sculpt and some layers. And I did that with AV's Epoxy Sculpt, the best sculpt in the market as far as I'm concerned. Then I added some paint, and voila. I will say Arachknight does look pretty cool alongside some other spiders if you were to put him on a shelf. So have no fear, he will look nice. Here, or here. No, that was stupid. But he does look pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think about this down below in the comments section. Is Moon Knight cool like this? Should I have added different things, different body parts? What would you have done to make Moon Knight? Because again, Moon Knight can be interpreted so many different ways and different styles, I guess. So I mean, it's one generic main look, but you could have executed it in a couple different ways, or I could have executed it in a couple different ways. Anyway, I'm talking too much.
But if you choose to subscribe, you the man. Yes, you. Everyone below in the comments, yes, you too. Thank you very much for showing me love. Who knew? It's ironic how we think out the box for you too, right?
Sing, 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 sing. Everybody.